just recorded that video on black spot as the most likely culprit of some type of fungus growing in the garden. As I'm starting to deadhead some and clean up the garden, I notice I may have something to do with this. Usually, when I have any pruning I do not compost it. I take it to the trash can, take it to the curb for brush pickup, get it out of the garden, especially if it has spores or disease. You just want that out of the garden. I'm a huge proponent of compost. I use it municipally. I compost my grass clippings and things like that, so I'm not anti-compost, but you really don't want any disease lurking around your garden and just spreading it. And unfortunately, I think I might have done that. Let me show you what I think might have been the source of that black spot. The weather had something to do with it for sure, but I think I might have had something to do with it as well. Let me show you. So our town does brush pickup 4 times a year, and I try to really utilize that because there's a tremendous amount of debris and vegetation in this garden. You've got multiple roses over 6 feet tall. In fact, the majority, I'd say half the garden is over 6 feet tall. That back there, Mr. Lincoln, that's approaching 9 feet. So lots of debris. So I try to take advantage, and when I do pruning, I will put it on a tarp and drag it down to the curb. I've done videos on that. I wouldn't say I've gotten lazy, but I'm just busy. I've got young kids that are not so young anymore. I work full time. I just don't have time more than, sometimes 15, 20 minutes a day to poke around in the garden, do what I can do, and then move on. And I've gotten really good at letting that go, not being perfect. Well, the one not being perfect part is I've been using my wheelbarrow a lot. So I'll prune, deadhead, remove leaves, put it in a wheelbarrow, and then sometimes it sits there a little while, and then I'll take it over to this pile. And this has worked out pretty well. I'm not using this to compost. It's just kind of a holding place. So I'll continue to pile up weeds, and if you've seen some of my videos over the summer, those are the weeds. And it's not composting, it's just a holding. And then I'll use a pitchfork, put it on the tarp, carry it down to the curb when brush pickup is, which is every other month. Well, I have been putting rose clippings and thorns and leaves in this pile, and my goodness, I mean, you could probably see that from here. I don't even have to hold up a leaf. All these spores, this is not dirt. Some of it might be botrytis and so forth, but these are spores and spores and spores of some sort of disease, maybe black spot. It looked very similar to what's on the bed of my roses. So I think that's a lesson learned for this year. I might have been doing well with the spraying and things like that, and I'm not using this to compost. But if I've got, a pile of spores, and keep in mind, my neighbor's yard over here is facing south, and here, kind of work with me here. If this is south, and these are all my spores, and if you follow my channel for any amount of time, our wind usually comes from the south or the southwest. It's blowing in this direction. Granted, there's a fence there. It's not wide open, but still, it's not hard to imagine if that's my spore pile, not compost, but I'll call it my spore pile. And if those spores are blowing toward the camera through the rose bed, no wonder I probably had an issue this year. Or at the very least, it could have been a contributing factor. Was it the only reason? Maybe not. We've had some rainy, drizzly weather, but now I'm thinking about it, these roses here are often the first ones affected. So each year, even though I've been growing roses for a long time, and you can tell from the video, I mean, these roses are looking outstanding if you don't look at the bottom half of the bush. So it's not all lost. Keep a journal, keep a diary, keep it up in your memory bank. Improve year to year. This year, the improvement was spraying more consistently and making sure I fertilize in the spring and late summer, and the growth has been outstanding. But the thing I'm going to learn and carry with me for next year, don't create a pile of spores in your yard. Get it to the trash can, get it into a plastic bag, get it out of the garden. I'm the most environmentally friendly person with the next one, even though I do some spraying. I believe in composting. There's a big difference between that compost pile of just grass clippings and then having spores sitting in your garden. So don't keep those things around. Get rid of them. And then speaking of that, in your own bed, when you have fallen leaves and debris like that are diseased, get rid of them when you can. And when you have blooms like this that have botrytis, and they look terrible because it's been rained, get rid of them, because all that's doing is it's allowing those spores to spread through the garden. So I'll stop recording now. Comment below. What do you think about that analysis? You think it was those spores in the bed there? Do you think it was the main cause? Do you think it was partly the cause or no cause at all? I'd be curious what you say. And again, there's my spore pile, and the air usually comes this way. Take care, everyone.